right, so if you look at verse 14 of chapter 28 in the book of Ezekiel, you'll see another connection with Satan walking up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. Now, you saw the relationship of him walking up and down as the earth, same phraseology. Now you're seeing the relationship with the earth being described as a planetary system being evolved around the sun, a stone of fire. It's the same language. Okay, it's the same language. So you see that he was set up as this anointed cherub that covereth, and that God has set him up. But of course, along the way, iniquity was found in him. So of course, this rebellion is of question that we're talking about. But this goes to show you how much this being and these beings that back him understand about our world, our physiology, and our system. They know much because they are prepared in their very own divinity prerogative to run this physical system, as you see right here by the Bible's own admission, that this being was set up to run and administer to the kingdoms of men. And this is going to tie back up to the Most High's. And if you check me in the concordance, you're going to find out that the Most High rules in the affairs of men. And that's what that holy mountain of God is, that you see at one time Satan be associated with. So he's associated with the affairs of the administrations of the kingdoms of men. And that is what these planetary systems are all about. So not to lose scope and get too far off a track, let's keep in mind that he's associated with these four directions. And of course, after he's rebelled, he has altered these directions with his deception, and he is using them for the primary means of control. And we're going to find out that the tribes, the 12 tribes of Israel, has been dispersed upon these four winds to the far reaches of the globe, which is making a direct connection to what we're talking about with these winds of change, or these avenues, or these four variables, or these false doctrines of which we're talking about. This is going to be St. Matthew chapter 24, verse 31. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to another. So now what we see here is, after Christ's return, that he's having to gather the elect. Now the elect is going to translate to the 12 tribes of Israel, which translate to the nations of the world that have been scattered abroad. If you watch the Two Witnesses series of Revelation 11, you'll understand how the 12 tribes relate to these nations, the olive branch, and the whole nine. So we see that these tribes, or these nations, have been scattered upon these four winds. So these four winds have been the primary medium of which to scatter them. Well, we're going to find out that these four winds are directly connected to false doctrine. And it's going to be directly connected to the type of false doctrine that I'm showing you in this diagram right here. Directly connected to this diagram right here. Everything that I've shown you here is going to connect up with these four winds that I've showed you in that fractal equation. And we're going to do this by looking into the book of Ephesians. But I don't want you to forget here before we do. I want you to see that the elect, the 12 tribes, the nations of the world have been dispersed upon these four winds that they are being gathered from. Now we have much more scriptural support that is going to support us there. What we need to do now is we need to look very closely into the book of Ephesians chapter 4 verse 14. And I'm going to read it and I'll come back and explain. That we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro. I'll be back.